Hey guys, it's Warriors NRL Fanatics here, back today with a bit of a live review, and joining me tonight, Rob. Is it Rob Bechara? Is that right? Is that how you say
Rob
it?
Bechara. Bechara.
Bechara. Sorry. Yep, that's right.
That's okay.
Yeah, and he's joined. Yep, he's doing the West Life. Is it West Life podcast? That's what podcast start off?
We do
but
it.
Rob,
we do a regular podcast.
Yep, exactly. So, Rob, why don't you introduce yourself for those of you who probably don't know? So, why don't you introduce yourself and what do you do? So, you're a Tigers fan, obviously. You'll be disappointed with the results. So,
definitely
what do you
disappointed with the
do?
result. Okay, well, I've been a lifelong Tigers supporter, and obviously, I do the West Life podcast with a couple of guys, Josh, who runs it and owns it, and Shane, who sponsors it. And we get out, to probably a couple of thousand listeners every week. We do a show every Tuesday night, and we're gaining a little bit of notoriety for it. And it's just something we do. It's just a labour of love, and we really like talking about the Tigers, whether it's in good times or bad times, like tonight. But that's pretty much. I've just been I'm a fanatic. I'm not anything to do with the club or anything like that. We're just lifelong supporters. That's all.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And for those, if you're not a Tigers fan, just go check out their podcast. As we like us, so go check them out and go give them a listen. But what are your thoughts on the game? Like the game, it was the Tigers. They started off pretty well actually, and it was a pretty good start from them. But second half, the Warriors managed to come back in it. All the positions Tigers, but what are your thoughts on the whole game?
Oh, it was just a very unusual game. Obviously the Warriors were missing quite a few players, before the game started, with both your starting props being out and RTS obviously retiring, and then Josh Curran being a late withdrawal, and we had some injuries ourselves. We had Seyfarth out, we had Luke Garner out, we had McKaylee out, and obviously losing our best and most consistent player of the year, Dane Laurie, in the first tackle set really hurt our chances. Even in that little tackle set, we made ground so easily. Like in 4 tackles, we're already over the halfway line, and 3 of those rucks were basically done by 2 backs and a hooker. So we started off really well, and I just don't think we took advantage of our chances in the first half, and we were pretty disjointed, really. Like Dane Laurie's in a lot of our backline movements, and obviously we had to switch Moses Mbai to fullback and bring in Michael Cheekham, who's only played 2 games all year, bring him into the centres, and he's regularly a second rower when he does play. So, look, obviously we're disjointed. I don't want to make excuses. Like, you guys had your players out, we had our players out. 10-0, I don't think was a big enough lead at halftime. And when we gave you guys a sniff, you guys took full advantage of it. There are a few calls you could question in the game for both sides, but that's rugby league, and we just weren't good enough to take advantage of it. Basically there, Christian. What did you think of it?
Yeah, exactly. I thought, the way we started the game, it looked like we weren't, we didn't look like we turned up like we, like last week against South Sydney. I thought, it looked pretty, the way we didn't do well in attack. I thought our attack was a little bit iffy at the start, but flat, and then, the West Tigers, they made us pay. They scored a couple of points, and then the second half, I thought we were a lot better. I thought we did a lot better in the second half. We came out with a bit more purpose, a bit more energy. And, West Tigers, I thought, they, from their point of view, I thought, they probably should have had a couple more points on the board before half-time. I thought we should have had more points. And, and then, the Warriors started off pretty well in half, which is very, very crucial for us. We had to get a try early in the second half, and we did that with the try. And, I thought, look, we were all right in the second half. We were much better, but, I think the main thing, we showed a lot of tenacity and courage, because we had all these players out. We had Armel out. We had, Roger back home. He went back home and hold the ball. John has to go and hold the ball. But, so that's my thoughts on it. But, what are your other thoughts, What are your other thoughts on the game? Did you have a standout player?
Look, for you guys, I thought your bench was really good. Like when they came on, I thought Cody Nikarima made a difference, even though he threw a pretty bad pass, which got him hooked later in the game. I guess Ewan Aiken was probably one of your better players. But just in general, like from the Tigers' point of view, I'll get shot down for it. I thought Luke Brooks played pretty well as usual, and I thought Stefano and Joe Offengawi were huge. They were absolutely huge. And when they were off the field, we were a different team. And I think Maguire was forced to bring those guys on earlier than he wanted. And you could see fatigue was showing. Like the young guys that came on that haven't played much footy for us, Tom Amoni, he wasn't really having a good game. And I just think Madge really had no choice but to roll the dice and bring them back early and just hope they could have enough legs for the rest of the game. But yeah, it's just a crazy game, like the game can change in so many ways. Like if Luke Brooks knows that ball hits his arm, he probably takes the tackle, instead of running away for a try. So there's so many things that can change. And the short dropout, I mean, I don't even know if it really crossed the 10-metre line. Like we never really got a good angle of that. But like I say, I don't want to make excuses because you guys had Peter Hiku at 5'8", and he's not a regular 5'8". So I can imagine your attack was always going to be a little bit clunky. So you guys deserve to win, and it's just really disappointing from our point of view because we've actually we have what we consider an easy draw, and we lost the game that we had to win tonight. We've got Canterbury that we're playing twice. Cowboys are beatable. Cronulla are beatable. So we just had a really good draw if we were going to make a run for the finals, and it's just really, really upsetting and disheartening. So not much. I'm pretty gutted, to be honest. I don't know how I'm talking to you right now. So I'm trying to smile, but I'm pretty upset deep down.
Yeah, it's just like me, I've all season. I mean, doing these chats and doing all my videos on this channel, and I've been very hard. It's been hard doing videos because every week's just been tough results, and it's been hard to keep doing these videos. But I keep carrying on, and you do these things because you just love your team. But I thought the West Tigers, they probably it was a missed opportunity for them actually. The Warriors, we're coming in on a 7-game losing streak. Well, it's a 7-game losing streak. We broke the 7-game streak, which is good for us, but obviously for the Tigers, it's a killer blow for them, unfortunately, for their finals hopes. But here on the live chat here says from Jimmy Miller says great one for the Warriors. Bunty's a beast. Yeah, I thought Bunty played a great game actually. I think he was quite good coming off the bench, and I thought Cody Nikarima was quite good. I think he's pretty suited to that position, Cody Nikarima, and there was a few other players that I thought did have a good game for the Warriors. So, yeah, Bunty as well. I think he had a pretty good game coming off. Just going through these comments here from Jimmy Miller. Oh, where's it gone? It's coming through. Keep doing your videos, bro. You're doing a great job. Here's Jimmy Miller. Thanks for that comment. But, I thought for the West Tigers, for me, there's a couple of standouts. There were some couple of standouts, even though they didn't get the result tonight. But, you got Stefano Utamanu. I can't say his name, sorry. Stefano Utamanu, is it? Stefano?
That's why I call him Stefano. I don't even try. I think it's Stefano. Yeah, I'm not even going to try and say it. I'm just calling him Big Stefano.
Yeah, Utamanu or something. Yeah. Yeah,
very,
Stefano,
very close.
Yeah, I thought it's pretty impressive, actually. Yeah, how long has he been with Arno?
He's been with our club only this year. We signed him from Parramatta, and there was a bit of a tug of war over him. We wanted to bring him on board last year, but Parramatta wouldn't release him, and you can see why. Like, he's a really good player, but like I said, unfortunately, I think Madge had to play him longer minutes than he really wanted to tonight. Even Alex Twal, I think, played all of the first half and started the second half. He never does those sort of minutes, like lengthened minutes in the game. So, I just think, I even said this on the podcast. Like, I expected to beat the Warriors simply because you guys clocked off last week. I just thought you guys weren't going to show up. But looking at the teams, I actually liked your bench. I thought your bench has a lot of impact. And that kind of bothered me a little bit, and thinking if we don't get this game out of reach, I knew when we put our, what I call kids on the field, it might hurt us. And it definitely hurt us when Stefano came up, when Joe Offa and Gowie came off. We're really lacking a bit of depth, So, and it showed today. But we need to find out as a club, who's got it and who doesn't have it. But the really disappointing thing for me is we need stability in our club, and all this is going to do is get those stupid Foxtel commentators going on about Madge and getting him sacked. And Michael Ennis's coverage tonight was absolutely disgraceful. He was just so one-sided. Talking us down the whole game, even when it was 10-0, like we hadn't conceded a point. He was just throwing so much blame and shade on the Tigers, and it was just really frustrating to listen to, because we're Tigers and we don't want to hear that. So yeah, I think the commentary was quite biased, but there seems to be a bit of an agenda against the West Tigers at the moment. I don't know why, but anyway, we're just got to put up with it, I suppose, and suck it up.
Yeah. Nez Williams asked here, can you ask him what's up with Joey Manu? Is he Joey Leilua? Is he injured or on the outer with Madge? What are your thoughts on that?
No, he's on the outer with Madge. He's definitely on the outer with Madge. It hasn't been said to me, but it's quite obvious he's fit and he's ready to play. And look, defensively, he's not up to it. And the thing with Joey is when he's playing well, he's got a lot of attack in him. And we haven't even seen that sort of attack that he used to show with Canberra. So if he's not even going to bring anything in attack, he's definitely a defensive liability. He's always out of position. So I got a feeling Madge has kind of stamped his papers, see you later, and, not to be put in first grade ever again.
Yeah. So Matt's doing a good job. The Fox Sports commentators are pretty bad when it comes to stuff. They do it all the time to the Titans. He's a Gold Coast Titans fan. So yeah.
Yeah, Christian, I'm not hearing you properly at the moment. The volume's going in and out.
Oh, sorry. It must be a bit of a connection issue there. Jimmy Miller just said that Madge is doing a job. Yep.
Yeah, I think Madge
is
Yeah, I've got you now. Yeah, look, Madge is doing as good as he can. I don't know if you saw my tweet earlier in the week. If you look at a lot of the guys in our team, even Dane Laurie's, I think, only played roughly 20 games for the club. Even, your former winger, Ken Mamala, who's only been with the club for 4 games. There's about 10 guys that have had less than 20 games for our club. And obviously, like, our fans are getting impatient. It's like, well, okay, if we wait another 2 or 3 years, they're still only going to have 50 games and 80 games. But, you just can't expect miracles from guys that haven't played enough with each other. And getting that cohesion in attack and defence. And then obviously Dane Laurie is the linchpin of our attack. Like, he chimes in on both the left-hand and right-hand side of the field. So for him to go off in the first 2 minutes, that was a huge blow. But even after that, I thought that the Tigers were running with a lot of intent, but we were kind of running like headless chooks. Like, we tried hard, but there was no smarts about our play, and that really hurt us. We should have been up by a lot more. Like, you guys put in a few grubber kicks for forced dropouts. The first time we got down there, Moses Mbai threw the ball over the sideline, and then we put a bomb up and let it go. Like, as soon as we went for a grubber kick, we got a repeat set. So, I just don't think we controlled the game really well early, but I definitely think the effort was there. It was just, to be brutally honest, just a poor effort. But the effort was there. The guys tried hard. I'm not going to bag them.
Yeah, and I thought, he's a pretty good player, actually. I think he's got a great future, Adam Dewey. But what do you think, Adam Dewey's best position is? Like, they've played him in the centres, they've played him in the halves. So.
Yeah, Adam's best position is 5'8", 100%. The problem with our team at the moment and our lack of depth is Adam's probably our best centre as well, if we were to play him in the centres. But it's a waste to play him in the centres. He needs to be 5'8". He's going to be the guy that leads the team in the future. I mean, his first up defence tonight was actually not Adam Dewey defence. It was actually pretty poor. Like, all his first up contact was really bad tonight, but he was still okay in attack. It was just a clunky. I think just everyone missed Dane Laurie, to be honest. And there's a difference between having 4 or 5 players out before a game and then actually losing a player during the game. And like if we were prepared for Dane
Yep.
Laurie to not to be there, I think it would have been, a different, we would have been prepared for it and used to it. And that just kind of threw us under the bus a little bit early. So, I think it was it turned out to be a mountain too tall. But, the guys tried hard, and I think fatigue got them in the end. And, and that comes down to a few of the interchanges. Like I said, I think Madge had to gamble, and because a few of the guys, the young guys weren't really doing a good job. So he had to hook them and, bring on the experienced guys, or not the experienced guys, but our better players back.
Yeah, and Nez Williams has asked a question in the live chat and asked, "What is your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Mamalo so far? What are your thoughts on him?"
I thought the first couple of games, Ken didn't look like he was emotionally there. Like he just looked like he didn't want to get down and dirty and do what we know Ken can do. When I knew we were signing Ken, I was like really happy that he was on board. He's big, he's tall, he's a meter eater, he can finish a try. Tonight, even though like he didn't get many chances, I thought he put his body on the line and he ran with really strong purpose. He just didn't get the ball very much. So I was actually happy with what I saw from him tonight. But, unfortunately, wingers don't win you games. You know what I mean? There's a lot of other more important positions than Ken's, but Ken definitely did play well. I think it was actually probably his best game tonight out of the 5 games he's played for us.
Yep, and look, how do you think guys will do for the rest of the season? Now, you've just lost this game, but difficult from here. But how do you think you guys are going to go for the rest of the season, for the rest of the year, for the next couple of games?
The finals are out of reach now. We'd have to win every game, and there's one game in particular we've got to play Penrith at Penrith. Plus, I actually said during the week as well, I think we can make the finals as long as our 1, 6, and 7 stay healthy. And sure enough, our number 1 got injured in the first couple of minutes, so he's irreplaceable, really. What I'd like to see from the Tigers for the rest of the year, obviously I want to see them try their best and play with purpose, but we're going to need to give some guys that we've got in lower grades who actually aren't getting any game time now because of COVID, but we need to give, Kai Cooper and Zach Sini, Jock Madden. I'd like to see a couple of those guys just get a run just so we know what they've got and what they're about. And, because the season's over, so we may as well, blood some young guys. And if there are players we are going to lose, for example, James Roberts and, Joey Leilua and probably Moses Mbai, if they're actually all leaving, then just don't play them anymore. Just go with the young guys and, because we're not going to win anyway. We're not going to make the finals. We need to be thinking for next year and the year after and working out, who's best for our roster.
Yeah. Yep. NRL090 says, on the winner review on my thoughts on the debut of Viliami Valia. Yeah, I'll check that out soon, NRL090. Thanks for jumping in there. But, what is there any last thing we'd like to, say? And can I also, before we go, can I also give your thoughts on, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck as a player? Because, as everyone knows, that that's the end of Roger. Give your thoughts on it actually before we go.
I don't think there'd be anyone in the NRL or even in the fan base that doesn't like Roger. He's an absolute champion guy. He's a very humble man. What he can do on the field was second to none. That sidestep, every time he does something, you think, oh my God, and you see him do it again the next week and it still freaks you out. He's just an amazing player. Good luck to him. I mean, obviously he's getting more money in rugby union and it'll probably prolong his career because they don't do too much in rugby union. But, definitely going to miss him in rugby league. And I was actually really happy he wasn't playing against us tonight, thinking, it'd help us get a win. But that didn't turn out right. It looks like your boys might have, put on a big show for him tonight. But, yeah, wonderful player and, wish him all the best.
Yeah. We'd like to thank you for coming on. Actually, thank you for coming on the channel and giving your time up for a bit of a chat, talk about the game. But thanks, Rob, for coming on the channel. I really appreciate that. And we could do a couple more chats like this. Any last words to say before we go?
No, just if there's anyone out there that follows the Tigers or likes to hear just a good rugby league podcast, follow Westlife Podcast, or look us up on westlife.com. Josh Barnett, he runs the show, and we kind of enjoy doing that product. And good luck with your show, Christian. It's good to see a few of these rugby league YouTubes and podcasts and what have you. We need a bit of it, especially in lockdown. It gets pretty boring.
Yeah, exactly. And you locked there, eh? Still in lockdown.
Yeah, we're still in lockdown, and we've got the 10-kilometre radius thing going on at the moment,
Yep.
and some places 5-kilometre radius. So, yeah, it's not much fun, and definitely not going to be much fun now that the Tigers have lost. So, season over, no hope. So a little bit of despair, but it's not life and death.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. So thanks guys for tuning in. Thanks guys for watching this a little bit of a live chat. Rob here, and go check out Westlife Podcast. Go check them out, Westlife Podcast. Go give them a listen. It's even if you're not a West Tigers fan, even if you're an NRL fan in general, just go check them out. Go give them a listen, and they're very passionate West Tigers supporters, and them all the best. For the rest of this year and for the coming next year. So yeah, thanks Rob for coming on, and thanks guys for tuning in. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like the video, and you guys live stream soon. So cheers everyone.
Thanks for having me on. Cheers, Christian. Bye, mate.
Cheers.